would like to thank all the parents that came here today. Thank you guys for coming out here. I'm going to stand up and talk to you guys. My name is Chloe Simoni. When I went to Columbus, I was the class president my senior year. I'm currently the freshman representative in John Jay College. I'm also a senator over there. When I first went to Columbus High School, I found out that this school had a bad name. I had heard, stories of kids going out the window, and I was like, oh my God, this school is going to be crazy when I entered there. And when I went there, I found out that that wasn't really true. The teachers, the administration, they were all kind over there. They all tried to help you. When I went there, I was an ESL student, so I had less than 3 years in America. So I had to take a second language class, which to me, I had to learn the language and to pass the exams. When I went there, the school was an impact school. For all of those that know what an impact school is, it's not a good name for the school. Thanks to our principal, Ms. Fuentes, our school got out of the impact list during the time when I was in school. Many of the students in Columbus were very active. Many of them joined sports. Many of them did leadership programs. Many of them did a lot of things good for the school. Most of us, I was in leadership, so we used to go out to help out people in need. Soup kitchens, we used to go out there. We used to do fundraisers, AIDS walk. We used to do all of these, to help out our community and also other people's communities. During that time over there, during my time in Columbus, I had a great time over there. I learned so much from there, and the things that I learned from there, I would not change it. I was offered when I went to Columbus to go to another school like Lehman or to another better school during my sophomore year and junior year, but I chose to stay in Columbus because I saw there was a great potential in that school. Thanks to that school, right now I'm currently, like I said, the freshman representative because it helped me develop my leadership skills as senator, and I'm also involved in a lot of stuff in John Jay. I'm also in the strategy and planning and budget committee in my school, which I help out shape John Jay's future. I'm also in another committee called the Master Plan Committee, which is helping John Jay shape up for the next 5 years. So if I didn't have the opportunity to go to Columbus, I don't think I would have had the opportunity to go to John Jay, where now I'm doing all these great things. I would like to thank everyone who came here. Again, thank you for your time.
My name is Sung Oak. I'm a science teacher at William H. Maxwell High School. And we were one of the first schools closed in the announcement of the 20 schools. And basically, if you look at, a lot of people outside the system don't know, because, it's almost like a secret guarded place, the school system. The parents, when you come in, the security officers, they tell you where to go, etc. So, but if you look at the closings and the effects of school closing, even the threat of school closings, they do exactly the opposite of what they claim, that the DOE claims that they do. For example, they say that they're doing it to reduce class size. Well, in fact, Maxwell High School, the reason why we got the F in the first place was when when Jefferson High School around us, Canarsie High School was closed, we went from 900 capacity to 2,000 capacity. We were in the newspaper called Sardine High. And that was the year that we got the F. And of course, the small schools only they screened in the higher level kids, and we got all the high needs kids, which is fine, but we were overburdened, and we did not have the resources to help them. In terms of attracting quality teachers, the DOE says that, well, we want to get rid of the bad teachers and bring in quality teachers. when you threaten schools for closure, the opposite happens. And I can see it in my school. Many good teachers have left because they were so tired of being threatened every single year of closure. And they, if you give a teacher the choice between they're paying their mortgage, okay, and a higher cause, I'm sorry, but most people will be like, I can't threaten my position. I have to move to a school that is constantly not under threat. The myth that they give more attention to students. I've talked to teachers who work in small schools, and what happens is the school's budget becomes so small that they cannot possibly have all the resources, especially for special ed students. And if you look at charter schools, for example, and one tactic that charter schools are doing is charter schools are convincing many of the special ed students' parents, hey, your kid is fine now. Why don't you sign off that he is no longer a special ed student? And the reason why they do that is because they don't need to then offer the services, the very expensive services of, let's say, 12-to-1, 1-to-1 speech therapy. And of course, as a parent, they're like, wow, my kid's great, terrific. And they sign off on that. So, just take the analogy. If this was all of New York City right now, we're going to get more attention, right? But our tax base would be so little, our diversity of skills in this room would be so little that not everyone will be able to get the service they need. And that's what's happening in small schools. Some teachers are asked to do 5 jobs. You are the fire escape planner. You're going to write IEPs. And teachers are asked to do jobs that are outside their realm of a certification. And if you don't do it, you're going to get sent to the rubber room. So the idea that small schools actually give more attention to students is a false idea. Let's talk about the quality of education. Since Mayor Bloomberg took over, I saw the quality of education actually decrease. It's all about testing now. And because of that, curriculums have been cut. Music, okay, arts programs, plays. Because now, if you don't drill and get those test scores up, you're going to be closed, and who wants that, right? So the diversity of the curriculum is now shrunken to non-existence almost. The reason why I got into this, why I got active a year and a half ago is I saw a student, a senior, an 18-year-old in my 10th grade class, and I said, what is he doing in my 10th grade class? And I found out that he was illiterate. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. He could not write a sentence, could not read a sentence. And then I said, how did this child get senior credits if he is illiterate? I'd never seen that in 13 years that I taught. And then what I found out was the administration, the DOE was pushing for recovery credits, which is basically to get your stats up so you don't get closed. It's social promotion to the nth degree. Basically, you sit down, you do a couple of worksheets that no one ever goes over with you, and then they basically say you got a half a year's worth of credit, or a full year's worth of credit. So, this is a, I'm not going to say it's racist, but it's definitely affecting the minorities in this city, because the white and Asian kids in Bayside, when you lower the standards so much, I'm not going to worry so much about that, but these lowering of standards is mainly to prop up the numbers in African American and Latino neighborhoods. And we're having graduates who know absolutely nothing. Okay? And just to defend our school, and Mayor Bloomberg always, I'm sorry.
Finish your sentence.
Okay. Just to defend our school, Mayor always says that the old system was really bad and that there was so much corruption. Let me tell you about our school. We have graduates in Cornell, in Columbia University. Right now there's a student at NYU who's doing engineering. And we have students who come back who do wonderfully. And our graduation rate, the 5-year graduation rate is 75%. And if you keep on following their track, I'm sure it goes to 80, 90%. The US Census says that it actually goes up to 90%, up to age 25. So the idea of using a 4-year graduation rate is just an excuse to close us down.